So Gothmog poisoned the F out of everybody on last Monday's stream,
Yeah.
and Reddit loved it, YouTube loved it. People were sharing it on MySpace. It was a real treat.
Which is
Uh,
still a thing. I just assumed they shut that website down. No. You can still log into your old MySpace accounts, everyone.
all right, we're gonna look for your MySpace account later and share it on stream.
Hmm.
All right, I'm gonna let these guys know they can start. You can start whenever you're ready. Good luck. And I wanted to ask everyone, but I'm talking to you. Is Legacy healthy? Is the question. And don't base your answer on the matchup of Jund Phoenix versus Aristocrats.
I'm so
is the
excited for this Aristocrats deck.
Me too. Um, we'll get to that in a moment. But what's your
Yeah.
what's your answer? Is
My
Legacy
answer is
healthy?
yes. I think it's very healthy right now. It's probably the healthiest it's been in a while. I've been playing, I don't know how long I've been playing Legacy, honestly. I can tell you that, you know, Deathrite Shaman and Miracles were a huge thing when I started playing, so if that helps.
Yep.
But I
Same
think
for
it's
me, I
pretty
think.
balanced personally. I know we've got a lot of 4-color control, and but I think the decks are doing a pretty good job of keeping down our combo decks, and the aggro decks like Canadian Threshold and Death and Taxes are putting up decent numbers. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't play a lot of online right now. I do play a lot of just against my friends, so I'd be
Mm-hmm.
curious to know what Chad is thinking.
Tensi Terry says it's not healthy. What's up, Tensi Terry? Um, Vintage is healthier than Legacy. I think Vintage has other issues, but as far as a meta, that may be true. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Lapark says better than when old companions and Red and Six were legal. Oko isn't a problem, but Astrolabe makes decks too similar and everything is annoying. Lapark not having a good time.
I will agree with the vintage being nice and healthy. With shops taking a huge hit recently, it's been with the Force of Vigor being the main thing that has affected that. I think vintage is much more exciting than it has been, for sure.
Yeah, Force of Vigor was huge in Vintage. And because I don't play Vintage regularly, that kind of went under the radar for me for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and until I realized, oh snap, Force of Vigor is actually amazing in this format. Um,
Yeah. But here we go in the game. I'd like to point out that Kaplan had a turn 1 Krark, and so that's with a Lotus Petal, so that's a ton of fun. And Blackman got his turn 1 blue Ponderoth. So I
mhm.
know that is something that this is his new brew that he's been working on. Having early game blue was something that was really important. In the dark, we've got a Cabal Therapy. I did not hear what it named, but I did not name Arclight Phoenix, Thoughtseize, Cabal Therapy, or 2 lands.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk probably all day and all night for the next week straight about the ban list of Legacy, what would be better. What I base my is it healthy or not healthy on is if there was an event tomorrow, big event, small event, doesn't matter the size of the event. You could have 3,000 players or 16 players. I feel like the top 8, top 16 of the event would be diverse decks. I don't think it would be 16 Uro Oko decks in the top 8, top 16.
Yeah.
I think we would see some Karn in there, some Green Post in there, some uh, whatever Reanimator or something. There's a lot going on in Legacy right now, and I feel like it's healthy. Moving on, Mayhem Devil just got uh, shot out of Phil's hand. The deck now, this Aristocrats deck. We were talking a little bit on the break. Um, there's a lot going on in this deck, even though it looks kind of simple on the surface. What do you think of this
Yeah,
one?
tons of interactions going on for sure. I mean, we've got Devil as a huge, I guess, endgame powerhouse for this, and lots of interactions between Cauldron Familiar, Witch's Oven, Croxa, Seagate, Stormcaller, and Cabal Therapy. I think are the key cards going on in this deck right now. But I'm really excited for the one of, so I hope we'll see them.
Yeah. Oh, what happened? Oh, he's getting a die. Okay.
Yeah.
What is he trying to do?
I don't know what we're keeping track of. Storm?
Huh. Okay.
Oh, maybe he's keeping track of his life here. And we're
Oh,
doing.
okay.
Oh, neither of them have die. So Kaplan's grabbing a notepad, and Phil is setting up his die.
Yeah, I just realized I have no idea what the life totals are because I guess they weren't
Yeah.
indicating that. All right, so
But
16 for
Park, I
Phil.
totally agree. Astrolabe and Oko are just. They don't make, for me, fun decks. I know lots of people play them and enjoy them, but it's not the type of Magic that I really enjoy. But that said, I do think they are being kept in check right now.
I agree. Um, Oko and Uro are not some of my favorite cards, but you know, especially in a format like Legacy, and in a way, I'm kind of playing devil's advocate, but it's also, I think there's some truth to it. The question, how does Oko help Legacy a format? I mean, how does Tabernacle of Pendrell Vale help Legacy? I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many ridiculously stupid cards in Legacy, like Sylvan Library. Doesn't even make sense on the color pie. Um, there's just there's no real right or wrong answer to this. It just
Right.
feels like Oko is fine to me.
Mm-hmm.
What was that for Kaplan? Oh, that's a Krark. Okay.
That looks like Clark, which is getting bolted. I think I might be having some connection issues. Some of the stream is a little glitchy for me.
Oh, okay.
Kaplan, so if I disappear, calling it now.
Okay, no
But
problem.
Kaplan is going to do a Faithless Looting, and we see that fun of Bloodghast again getting binned, as well
Hmm.
as an Arclight Phoenix, exactly where you want it in the graveyard.
Yep.
Entomb, which will be the second spell per turn, I believe, on Kaplan's side. Oh, Ritual. Into Entomb, which will trigger the Arclight Phoenix when we move into combat. So that's important to note because that means Kaplan can go get an Arclight Phoenix with that Entomb.
Yeah. Tensi Terry asked a good question in chat. What is Legacy trying to do as a format? For me, Legacy is trying to be play any card that you could possibly own that's not silver bordered and have fun. With the obvious exceptions of like Power 9 and cards that ruined the format. Um, that's what I think it's trying to be. Like literally trying to be that.
Right.
Every
Legacy is
card that
trying to
you own.
be as open as possible, that you
Right.
can do as much as possible. I would actually argue, though, you can do more of what you want, like anything of what you want more in Modern, because Legacy has all of the blue counter spells and
Hmm.
free counter spells that automatically puts this kind of floor on what you can do in Legacy successfully.
Right. Yeah.
But the difference between Legacy and Modern is Legacy has all of the history of Magic in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, Legacy does
In the
have cards
meantime,
though.
we
Like
got a couple of Arclight Phoenix coming back,
yeah. Is it
and
two or
Bloodghast is
three?
getting sacked
Two.
to two, looks like, to the Cabal Therapy. I don't know what he named, but it revealed Valk.
Yep. All right, we're going to game two. Um, so to wrap all that up before game two starts here,
Mm-hmm.
I think we all agree to some extent, if I'm understanding chat correctly, that Legacy is healthy. It's just got some issues, like every
Sure.
other format. I
Yeah.
think that's where we are.
And Park's bringing up Canadian Highlander, which I think is really interesting. I don't think I need another format in my life, but that is, I think if I were to explore another format, that would probably be it. In terms of the game, we had Underground Sea on Blackman's side, and then Kaplan went for Thoughtseize, which got Flusterstorm.
Yeah. And I think this year, not to talk about this for another another hour, but this year we got cards like Skyclave Apparition, we got Muxus, we got Allosaurus
Love it.
Shepherd, we got
Love it.
all the cards that we were
Um,
talking about an hour ago that made Legacy better and healthier.
yeah.
Death and Taxes is back
Mhm.
at the top. Goblins is a real deck. Doomsday is a real deck. I mean, last year around this time, I was playing matches at my local, and there
Mhm.
was a player there playing Doomsday decks, and it was a lot of fun. But his deck was, uh,
Inconsistent.
you know, yeah, it just wasn't competitive. At
Mhm.
least not, and I mean that in no disrespectful way at all. It just wasn't
No.
a real deck that people like win Grand Prix with. But now it is.
Sure. Yeah.
So
So
so yeah.
that Dark Confident made an attempt, but it got bolted right away. And Verts, I totally agree with you. You're trying to communicate with us, and we can speak, and you are trying to communicate with us by typing.
Yeah. When
So
we
I get
hit
it. Don't worry.
when we hit 100 subscribers, I will allow people in chat to call into the show. That's my promise. I'm being serious. I'll figure out a way to do it. We'll have a calling in line. All right, Seagate Stonecaller here. Is it going to be a Village Rights?
One of our new
Yes.
cards we're excited to see.
Agreed, Gothmog.
Alright.
Um, Here's a fun question. What does Uro, Black Lotus, and Yawgmoth's Will have in common? No idea.
They're
They
on
both cost 3.
legal magic cards in vintage.
The answer is they all change the rules on how MTG is played. What?
Sure. We've got a land grant revealing Plague Engineer, Cabal Therapy, Pyroblast, and it looks like a Cling to Dust at the end there. And coming in from the sideboard, I know we didn't get a chance to talk sideboards, but Kaplan brought in Young Pyromancer, which is slowly becoming one of my favorite all-time Magic cards, even though I actually don't play with it in a deck right now.
It's up there for me. I really like Pyromancer a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
And this looks like a good sequence. I think the flashback on the Cabal Therapy is naming Cauldron Familiar, and unfortunately, Bleckman's stream is frozen for me, so I don't know what that reveals.
it was just 3 Underground Seas in hand.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah, not where you want to be if you're Aristocrats. The double
Yeah.
Village Rights was terrible.
Mm-hmm. And Blackman was saying this is a brew that Blackman's working on, and I love helping people work through decks and play testing decks. It's one of my favorite things to do with my play group. And Blackman was saying he's not sure on the number of Village Rights yet. So,
Yeah, he was saying that. I think a lot of the deck is still a rough draft for him, but
this is where you work it out,
yeah, exactly. You got to play games.
Casual tournament.
And chat gets to observe.
Yeah.
Tensi Terry.
Though.
Tensi Terry. I don't know. Uro is as messed up as Yawgmoth's Will and Black Lotus. Is that what we're talking about now?
No.
I don't know.
It's maybe going a little above. I would not say that I am a person who would be qualified to, design new cards or anything like that.
Yeah, you are.
People in our playgroup who are and totally get like the rules and the color kai. Exactly, right? Color pie. That would be that's their alley. I'll just get the most value out of the cards WotC sends me.
Yeah, same.
Dark Confidant on Captain's side. Another land on Blackman's side, but we've got a Cruxa coming down. One of my favorite cards from 2020. I think 2020.
It's up there.
Yeah, there's.
Crocs are
And I
not
can't
very
do it.
good
I
against
can't
Phoenix.
talk about because you're making your opponent discard a card, and that might not work out. Plague Engineer hitting the bin,
Yep.
and that means he is not taking any damage. I think I did that right.
I think so, yeah.
We see Phil's hair. We got a reader, but this card is a mess. I wish there was a better. Like, I had an argument with Gothmog, not an argument, but a discussion. Like, how could we have worded this card better so it's easier to understand? Unfortunately, I do think Kroxa is the easiest wording right now, but I
Um,
can't even.
yeah, Crocs is a tricky one. How's Croxa in play now? Oh, he flashed it back already. Okay.
Okay.
Um,
And then
Verts.
Pyroblast
Yeah, go ahead.
is hitting. Yeah, I'm having unfortunately, some lag issues, but I know the Kroxa got pushed.
It did.
Revealing, was that Aria Flame? Yes.
Aria Flame. Yep. I think Phil is in serious trouble right now. There's like a million elementals on the field.
Yeah.
Um, favorite mechanic of recent times has to be Adventure. That was from 2019, but it is one of my favorite mechanics. I agree.
Yeah.
Um, power level of Jumpstart, M21's Undercar Rising, and Commander Legends, awesome. I agree with Verts.
Mm-hmm.
And is Dredge the most broken mechanic in Magic? The most broken mechanic in Magic is flying.
Shroud?
Yeah,
I don't know.
it might be Dredge. I don't know.
Yeah, Dredge is up there. Totally acknowledged.
I think by broken, like Dredge being the most broken, is like the most unintentionally powerful. Like
Sure.
they didn't mean for it to be so busted,
Right.
but it
They
is.
thought it would be a tax instead of a
Yeah,
benefit in many circumstances.
it probably seemed more fair when they were making it, but then it just turned
Mm-hmm.
into this just nutty graveyard deck.
All right,
All
that
right,
is it for Blackman.
let's turn to the players.